Hello, everybody. Dr. Willie Jolly
And this is Dee Taylor-Jolley.
and Dee Taylor-Jolley.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. And we are coming to you and to everybody Instagram and to Facebook and to people on LinkedIn Live and to people on YouTube. I learned last week how important it is to talk to the people who are not watching it live, but who are watching it, you know,
Later.
Okay. So we want to welcome everybody wherever you may be, and we're glad you're here. We got people who are joining in, and we are grateful for all of you. Well,
what's our topic for this evening?
We're talking about, first of all, we didn't say Happy New Year.
I said Happy New Year, dear.
I didn't say it. Happy New Year! Let old acquaintance be forgotten, never brought to mind. May old acquaintance be forgotten in days of old lang syne. Old lang syne, my friend, old lang syne. We'll take a cup of kindness yet in days of old lang syne. All right, so welcome to 2022.
Yes, dear.
And this is the first Monday, the first week of 2022. We got our pajamas on. And y'all, I got to show them the whole. I hope they can see everything.
They can't see behind the table, sweetheart.
Oh, I guess.
Well, just hold your leg up. If you want to see that you have a whole attire, a whole PJ attire. There you go. There you can see it. I'm not going to show all my bottoms. And he's got, and we do have, no, I don't have my matching shoes on. We have matching shoes too.
So
is that over the top?
We got a reason for it, though. We got a reason for it. We want to encourage people to set goals because goals are sexy. And you can do them in your pajamas. You can set your goals even in your pajamas. And that's what we want to tell people to do, particularly those in the areas where we got snow.
And we say, why the pajamas? Because it makes it much more personal. Sometimes people don't want to set goals. At the beginning of the year, people talk about resolutions versus goals. And it becomes a challenge of, well, do I really want to do it? I don't know why I'm setting these goals, or I don't know quite how to do it. If I do it and I don't accomplish it, I'll be upset. Other people will know I didn't meet my goals. It ends up being a big mess. And so a lot of times people don't try. Right. But statistics show that goals, people who actually set the goals, write them down and work through them with a plan, are 40% more likely to achieve their goals. There are different kinds of studies, like there's one from Harvard. There are just several different research topics that say that writing the goals down and having a plan makes a difference. But less than 50% of the population actually does it.
Now,
and there are all kinds of reasons as to why. Maybe it's too much. Maybe they feel overwhelmed, or there's a fear of, I won't achieve it and I really don't want anybody to know. So we decided it's the first of the year. We've always set goals.
Yeah. Yep.
Really, I think it started as business goals because we had to. Where do we want to go for the next year?
Yep.
So the personal goals, our personal goals impact our business goals. And our business goals have impacted our personal goals.
Correct.
Wouldn't you say?
Yes.
So our PJs are a way of saying that we can do this together, and it's not something that's intimidating.
Right. And we wanted to talk about it because we wanted to talk about the different letters and comments we get from people who are not on the same page in terms of their goals and dreams and aspirations. And there's two different agendas in the household. So we wanted to talk about
I think different agendas in the household affect the money.
Oh, yes, it does. It absolutely does. And we like what our friend Damon John said. We just got a text with some pictures from him doing his goal setting. And he said, these are pictures of me goal setting. And then another one with me goal setting with my wife. And he had told me when he was on my XM show, which I encourage everybody to go and listen to that interview that I did on my Sirius XM show. You can get it on my podcast.
Well, how do they do that?
They get the podcast, the Willie Jolly Wealthy Ways podcast, on iHeart Radio, C-Suite. Well, I want you to go to C-Suite because that's our partner. C, like the letter C, Suite, like a suite of room, SUITE, C-Suite Radio. And then subscribe to my podcast there. But you can find my interview with Damon John there. And the latest one, I got two of them, I think, but the latest one that was done in 2020, that he talks about goal setting and how he said it was one of the most sexy things he and his wife do together. He said it just is sensual, sexy, is life-changing.
And why is that? Why do you think he's saying that it's
Well, I think
sexy
part
and
of the reason
sensual?
he says it's sensual and sexy is because they get intimate with their real deep down feelings. It's not just the uh, surface. It's the deep stuff that he writes about, what his goals are, his fears, his dreams, his wants. Let's talk about goal setting. Now, we talked about the fact that some couples we've gotten common correspondence from have talked about the fact that they're not on the same page because they got different goals.
So the specific topic is
All right.
how goal setting affects your relationship, positively or negatively.
Yep.
And what we want is for goal setting to positively impact your relationship.
Yep.
Also, research says that people who have goals, achieve them, can live longer as couples. Because we know married couples, married and happy together, live longer.
Yeah.
Because you support health-wise each other.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You tend to have more finances, more wealth, because you're combining your wealth together.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
So we're talking about relationships that are positive, where the people like each other and work together in harmony.
Absolutely.
So with setting of the goals, this is one way you can learn.
Now, Robert said, come on, Miss D, call everybody's name. Everybody's name.
See, that's what I'm saying. Because some people come on later and everything.
All right. So one of the things we had to learn about goal setting, and that's why we want to talk about this. If you're going along a path and one is going one place and one is going another place and y'all haven't come together, it creates division by its nature without having clear-cut goals. And then there are other issues that spring up when you're not working on the same page, when you don't have the same goals, same agenda.
Let me say this. I think some people would say that it's easier for us because we work together.
Why would they say that? I don't know why they would say that, because we work together.
Because we know each other's business goals, because you have certain things you do, I have certain things that I do. We're together all the time, so we have a sense of each other's temperament, right?
Okay.
Which is different than the personality is an outward expression of your inward natural temperament, and we have learned how to complement each other.
Yes.
Where people who work in different arenas and away from each other, they might not be so inclined to be focused on goaling together. How about that word?
I like that. Goaling
together.
Cool. I like that. Okay. I like that. Guy Durant has a question. Advice for recently engaged. Yes, we do have lots of advice for recently engaged. We have a chapter in the book for those not yet married. And we recommend you read that chapter and both of you read that chapter, because it gives you some principles about what it's going to take to have a successful marriage.
I think the whole book does that.
Oh, yeah. We've had people.
My inclination now has been towards the book that we have, to Make Love, Make Money, Make It Last, needs to really be read by everybody who's not yet married. So they can understand those key 10 principles, so that you don't end up on the other side of married and struggling, trying to figure out how to complement each other. Yeah.
We've been married for 37 years. Going on 37 years. That's a long time. 37 years.
You can go ahead and say you were a pup.
I was a pup. Mark Downs knows it's true. I was a pup. Okay.
Let's not go there. Let's stay focused here. You were
anyway, first I want to.
You were a fresh pup. You were a wild pup.
I will.
So let's not go down that path.
Well, first of all, I want to, Guy, I want to say congratulations.
You changed the subject.
Yeah. Okay. On, she said yes. Okay. Yeah. She said yes. Praise the Lord. I've been there when somebody I was trying to get married to did not say yes for a long time. No. But I've learned the power of persistence, and I just wore her down.
He was sweetly persistent, and I'm so glad that he was persistent.
I persisted, and
he became my best friend. I think that is a major
chapter number 1 in the book, guy, and for all of everybody else is friends first. It's so critical in your relationship to have somebody who you just dig being around them. You dig their energy, you dig their personality, you just dig being around them. The other parts are secondary. Really, if you don't like somebody said, well, isn't sex the most important thing? Well, you can't stay in the bed 24/7, that's for sure. And you got to be around the person. And it's just about, we've counseled people who the sex was popping and that was it. And they were arguing all the other time.
Still not enough to keep you together.
Let's get back on the goals. Okay, so hope that, but by the way, Guy, you can get the books at jollymarriage.com. jollymarriage.com. We'll sign them if you get them there. You can get them at Amazon, but we recommend getting it at jollymarriage.com. Get 2 copies.
Let's go back to the.
All right.
How
we're going to talk about these goals because we've had so many people. It positively or negatively. Now, we're talking about how it impacted us positively. We started setting goals when I was a nightclub singer. And I started setting goals, but particularly when I got fired and replaced by the karaoke machine.
So there was a particular incident that forced us to say, okay, we have to sit down and figure this out.
And I read a book.
You came in and you told me, when you came, you said, I got fired.
Yeah, I got fired. What? And I read a book that talked about how to set goals. And it transformed my thinking.
What book was that?
That was Jesus is a Double Diamond by I'll never forget.
That's a network marketing book.
It was a network marketing book. And somebody had given it to me. And it was so profoundly impactful.
And I had not read it.
I know. And I read it. And then I started reading more goal books. And I started reading books about goal setting. And I read Think and Grow Rich. And in fact, if y'all go to winwithwillie.com, you can get a free copy of Think and Grow Rich to download so that you can change your thinking. It changed my thinking.
Winwithwillie.com, which is absolutely free.
Yeah.
So really it is your mindset. So I am actually working on for this first quarter as we talk about, and my the title, what I call the working title for this quarter is How the Wealth Was Passed.
Oh, that's good. I like that.
How the wealth was passed.
All right. You're getting ready to go down there? You're getting ready to go down there? There you are. Oh, yes, you are. I can see you warming up. I can see you getting your running start. I can see it. See it.
Because the key part of one's wealth is how it is communicated from one member of the family to the other.
Okay.
How to keep it, how to grow it.
Let's stay on goals.
But it starts with setting the goals and in agreement.
All right, because she'll find a way. She will find a way that if we're talking about apples, everything will come back to finances. Okay, everything. We're talking about apple pie. Oh, so anyway, look, here's what we want to say to you. I want to tell you about the positive power of goal setting. Changed our life from broke, busted nightclub singer to read this book, to start reading books, to go into seminars, start to speaking and learning about the power of goals.
And sharing the information with your spouse or significant other. And not saying, oh my goodness,
I gave her.
You know what? You don't have a clue. I have just read this book and you need to read it. He did not say it to me.
No, I didn't say that. Oh, no. I said to her, I thought this was a great book. You know what? I would like your opinion on it. I'd like you to read it and let me know what you think about it. I encouraged her. I stroked her ego. She read it. She listened to the motivational tapes I was listening to. I'd pass them on to her.
There were motivational tapes. Oh, my God.
Cassette tapes.
Cassette tapes.
That's right. They were cassette tapes. And then we just kept growing. And then we started setting goals. And we started setting goals. I started speaking. And the first year of speaking, I doubled my income. From where I had been before.
The setting of the goals simply meant that we agreed to what would be our benchmark for the first year. That's just enough. You have to have different ways of saying.
And then we set a goal for a house. We set a goal for a house within a year. I said, if you live in my mama's
Well, that
attic,
was the first one before we even knew what goal setting was. When we married, and I came at your request
yes,
to Washington, D.C., because I was not living in D.C.,
yes,
to live in your mother's attic,
yes,
you made a promise to me
yes.
that you would buy me a house within a year
If you
if
lived
I
in,
lived in a mama's attic and we saved all of our money.
we saved
said
it and
that.
we made it done. We got it
So
done.
we were starting to set goals without even formally realizing it.
Yeah,
Okay, so
yeah.
so
We didn't know what we were
talked about-
doing,
We
really.
did not know what we were doing. So we talked about what was important.
Yeah. But then once we figured out what we were doing and how the power of goals could just propel you into another stratosphere, that's when things started kicking in. Things started going well.
Okay, so let's do a quick list. I don't want to run out of time like we normally do, right?
Yeah,
So the first thing that we did was to talk about our dreams and goals.
that's right.
Which means of the three things that we talk about, sex, money, communication are things that are the pillars of a successful marriage. Then you got to talk about your dreams and goals. You got to do that.
You got to talk.
You got to talk
And have some.
and you got to listen.
Right. Thank you, Dee Wilkins. She said we compliment each other so well. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So we talk about our goals. We sit down and we work on our goals. We often would take a trip. We would go to somewhere warm and sit on the beach and just.
Well, before we even got
Not
there,
before we got there.
I mean, we've been 36 years into this. I said after 5 years and really started
seeing the results.
Right. So to say that we talk about our dreams and goals because we're willing to be vulnerable with each other in terms of what is necessary for me to feel safe and secure.
Yes.
What is necessary for you to feel valued and to feel like you're in charge? We actually talk about those things.
We talk about
So we're saying it is important for you to be vulnerable with your mate. And you think, well, I don't have that kind of mate. Then we have to back up, right? And figure out what that challenge is so that you can have a relationship where you can talk freely and lovingly and have somebody
and confidently and trustfully.
and have somebody stroke your ego to say you can do it. We
got
challenges, but we can do this together and not use their fears and their weaknesses against them when you're in a disagreement.
You know, think about the lady who came to our goal setting for seminar, the first one we had, the first goal setting seminar we had. And a lady named Angie came. And I'll never forget, her friends dragged her there because that she didn't think she deserved to be there. And she just said she didn't have she only had a GED. And I said, when everybody gave them the exercise, she wasn't even doing anything. I said, why aren't you writing your goals down? Why aren't you working on this exercise that you gave? Doesn't make any difference because I don't have a college education. I just got my GED. I said, so what? What they got to do anything? And I encouraged her, told her other people who had gone on. Dave Thomas, I'd spoken for him, who started Wendy's Hamburgers, only had a GED.
You know, the thing about Dave Thomas, and we actually went to his house, which was on the Causeway.
It was on the Fort Lauderdale.
He had the softest hands.
Nicest.
He had the softest hands, kind of like a like you imagine a Pillsbury doughboy would have soft hands. He had those kind of
he
soft
was the sweetest
and
person.
nice man.
Anyway, so I told her Dave Thomas, I told her different people. So she started working on it. Then we had another seminar the next month, and she came back and she said, my husband laughed at me when I told him my goals. Damn, that's what I wanted to get to. Well, long story short, she went on to finish the class, came every month, took the whole process, went through the process, and she didn't finish the whole year because by the time of 6 or 7 months, she was so fired up, she was gone. And a year later, she was on Oprah for millionaires under the age of 40. So it shows that goals do work. In fact, if
you work them, it
look,
is not.
If I gave y'all a ball and I told you to hit a wall, let's just say the wall back behind us. I threw it. Could I hit that wall? Sure you can. Now, if I put a blindfold on you and turned you around till you didn't know which face you were going or which face you were facing, is it still easy to hit that wall behind me? No, I don't know which way I'm going, which direction. Now, if you can't hit because you can't hit what you don't know, and you can't hit what you can't see, and you can't hit what you can't see if you don't know what you don't know. So how are you going to hit your goals if you don't know what they are. Once we get our goals, we will focus on our goals: the house, the building a business, getting a book deal.
All right. So the essence is
we're working together.
That we brainstormed and we talked about it. So you say, okay, I don't have a mate right now, right?
This is so funny.
What?
Guy asked the question everybody wants to know.
What?
Your cadence of communication is so interesting. How do you signal each other, or know when to talk next, or listen to?
I kick him under the table.
We've had that question.
That's a good question.
Remember we had it the first time we had it was at a luncheon we had with two people who argued all the time.
We were attempting to counsel.
And they were arguing. But we were cutting in and out like that. And that literally is because of this word, respect. Respect. Guy, that's the answer. The secret to our success is respect. We respect each other. So there's no signaling. It is when I'm talking and she cut in, I let her talk. And when she talking and I cut in.
Because I got the idea. See, and I'm trying to compliment what he's saying.
All right, go ahead.
All right.
Go ahead.
So you have to talk about it.
Yeah.
To get a vision of what you want to do, right?
Yes.
Then you can do the vision board. I'm not really very good at that. They used to say, you cut the pictures.
Well, I got one. I got big pictures though.
You have big pictures.
I got the plane on the wall now. Plane on the wall.
But for a long time, I was like the magazine stuff. I'd go to the internet because I really couldn't get with that. But I found pictures of like on my wall in the office. And I have these women who have these abs. So now I'm into the abs and all, and I'm like, ugh. And one lady,
she got the guns. Y'all, when she take off her shirt, she got the guns now, but she's working on the abs now.
So I have a picture, several different kinds of women in different ages to inspire me, right?
Yes.
So you got to talk about your dreams and goals.
You take the pictures because they visualize the power of visualization.
You want to visualize it, then you want to start to write it down. Definitely. So we each do that.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. And we were talking about that this weekend, and I was sharing with you. I said, you know what? I read so and so and so. And you said, oh, I said, don't tell me. I don't want to hear your goals right now. Because that's the next thing. After you each have written your goals, then you sit together. Right?
She wasn't ready to hear mine because I had already, because she hadn't done her completely yet.
No, because sometimes his individual goals, and I'm aware of that, will influence me. And I don't want to be influenced in my personal goals by what he's doing. He has a strong personality, and I have to push back. So I have to be sure of what I want before we then come together and say, okay, let's talk about this, right?
That's right. Yeah.
And then it's surprising how some of the goals that we each have individually cross each other. And that is because we've been together for so long, right?
Yeah.
You think that's part of it?
Before we go too far, let me say for a moment, many people want to know, and I'm getting text messages as well, about our goal setting seminar. Are we doing it this year? Well, we haven't done a live one for
2 years.
20.
This is 22. 2 years or 3 years.
It might be 3 years, but whatever. We did the last one we did live was we taped it. Because so many people around the world who have my books said, I want to come, but I can't physically get there, but I want the messaging. And I really want it bad. And what can I do? So we taped it, not knowing that a pandemic was on the way. Okay.
Well, I just don't want to say we taped it. We actually turned it into
a virtual seminar.
And into a seminar.
Yeah.
That has a downloadable, writable workbook.
Ooh.
I'm the training person here. As well as a Jolley journal.
Absolutely. And Dee Wilkins, you're absolutely right. Yes. So here's what we want you to do, folks. Here's what we want you to do. Go to winwithwillie.com. You can get access to the goal setting seminar right there. And look, right now,
it's more than half price.
It's more than half price right now because we want as many people as we can to take it. Do it in your pajamas. Do it with your wife and your spouse. In your comfy place. Or your family might want to do it. Watch the video or watch the program. Go through the modules and do the exercise.
So here's the other thing. It's self-paced. because some people read and respond quicker than others.
Yes.
I am slow. I want to mull over the information. There are breaks in there. You can go and review the material as much as
You're not
you
slow,
want,
you're
and
meticulous. You just got every little detail.
which serves you very well.
I'm, on the other hand,
when we are involved in financial things and you say, D, I need, and what am I?
yes, the
Johnny
winwithwillie.com. That's correct. Winwithwillie.com. You can get access to the goal setting seminar at winwithwillie.com, as well as to the marriage materials at winwithwillie.com. All right. So here's what we want you to know, that goals work. They help you live longer. They help you make more money. They will help you make more fun, have more fun, and they help your marriage.
For you as a couple,
yes,
as you work and build a relationship, a loving relationship
yes.
together, right?
Yep.
So you got to talk about your goals and dreams before you start to write anything down, right?
Yep.
You want to visualize yourself, and that's cutting out, that's going to TikTok or whatever, and finding those things that say, yeah, that's me. Because that's another way.
The type of house you want, the kind of car you want, the smell of the leather.
Right. Mm-hmm. And then writing them down individually.
Yeah.
Then coming together to discuss what are your goals, and then you're going to find some commonality. You talk about yours, I talk about mine, and then we say, oh, okay, you want a summer home in Florida. I'm like,
a winter home.
I mean, okay, a winter home in Florida. I'm like,
if you're not that interested in it, I'm like,
okay, sweetie.
It snowed here today. I'm like, out. Get me out of here.
I can stay in the house. But okay, he wants that. He wants that. I'm not opposed to that. Okay.
No, you
so
went
that's
along
important.
with it. Yep.
That's important to you.
And I said I wanted a certain vacation, a certain amount of time every quarter.
Yes.
Yeah. So we were able to start working on that process. So
we come to finding common ground in the individual goals.
Yes.
Then from there, we work on what are the couple's goals.
Yes.
And then we have to get to a plan. That's the next thing. We haven't gotten there.
Hey, Daisy Cakes.
Get to the plan.
I want to say hey to Daisy Cakes. So Willie Larkin, thank you. Willie Larkin, I want to give him a shout out in his church. They bought a bunch of books last week. And we want to celebrate them. And we want other people who got church groups, church marriage ministries. You can get jollymarriage.com. You can buy them. We give you a discount if you buy volume. So buy them, buy 20, 30, 40, 50 for the people in your church and your community.
Okay, and I want to add that we have our own, you know
yep, I know the Jolly budgeting guide. All right?
I have a budgeting guide because I love lists.
Oh, housing, household.
And what goes
personal,
into that?
Transportation, entertainment and travel, additional obligations.
Woo. So when you get the goal setting materials.
I was wondering were you waiting for me to say something?
So when you get the goal setting materials, you end up getting a lot of these kind of handouts too.
Yeah, it really is good. When you get the goal setting, you get downloads. It's really a great deal. It's $197 regularly.
It's $97.
It's $97 right now. $100 discount.
I think that's
right now.
Pretty cheap. Is that a cheap date?
Well, it's a cheap date. It's a great way to do it for your family. And if you can write some great goals.
That over several weeks, because this is not. Let's tell you the truth. You know, people say, "Oh, I can do it in a couple hours." No, you can't.
Well, even if you did it in a couple hours, what we tell people, there's some exercises we encourage you to repeat within 30 days because your thinking expands. It really does. When I thought about the biggest and the greatest goals I could when I first started setting goals, I said, if I could just make $100,000, if I could just make $100,000, oh, that would be the cat's me out. My mind could not fathom $1 million, a couple million.
So every time you do it and you grow here, you can see just a little more.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. Zig Ziglar said you go as far as you can see. When you get there, you'll see further. So We want to thank y'all.
I didn't get to my
you didn't get to your questions.
That's okay.
We do it next week.
Can we start next week with the question?
Will that work for y'all next week? She's gonna talk about finances. I know where she's gonna go.
Well, we do have an agenda, sweetheart. But we didn't get to this question, which ties into finance.
All right, we got agenda items. So remind us next week, folks. We got to do that. You know, we really are working on. Willie Loughlin gave us a great idea last week about interviews. We're working out all of the details.
And we're working on
how do we make it more robust? That's the right word, robust.
With experts,
yeah, with experts, with people with married couples who've been married a long way time, as well as experts in the industry.
I focus on finances.
Thank y'all so much, Guy Durant. That was a great question. Thank you for sharing it. We respect each other, and that's how we roll. We just got a rhythm here. All right, look, our time is up. Thank y'all for your time. I want to welcome all of those again who are watching live, but there's also those who are watching on YouTube, on Facebook, or the replays. All those who listen, watching Instagram Live, on LinkedIn Live, the replay. We realize how many.
WillieJolley.com.
No, winwithwillie.com.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, winwithwillie.com. Yep. All right. And then order the book. You can get it right there, winwithwillie.com, in the marriage tab. You can get the goal setting seminar. We're trying to make it one stop for everybody. Thank y'all so much. God bless you real good. Have a great week on purpose. We really love sharing this with you, and we appreciate all of you who've been so supportive. This is Dr. Willie Jolley.
And this is D. Taylor-Jolley.
And we're the Jollies, but we're the authors of the book, Make Love.
Make Money.
Make It Last. 10 Secrets to Shape a Great Marriage. We love you, and nothing you can do about it.
Jolly out.
Jolly out. God bless y'all.
Why do birds suddenly appear every time you are near? Just like me, they long to be close to you.